Hello, curious people. While many eyes are focused on the British royal family, in particularly Meghan and Harry, who decided to give up their functions and build their new private life in America, the real and great drama takes place in the royal family from Norway. The Crown Princess Mette-Marit, called the Norwegian Lady Diana, is terminally ill, and according to press reports, she only has a few years to live. The state of the wife of the heir to the throne, the Crown Prince of Norway, Håkon, is so serious that due to the coronavirus, she stays in a strict isolation because in case of an infection, she would have no chance of surviving. Recently, for the first time in many months, Mette-Marit gave an interview in which she talked about her isolation and work. So stay with me if you'd like to get to know her extremely touching and full of drama story, which can end at any moment. Mette-Marit suffers from idiopathic pulmonary fibrosis, which is a deadly disease, appears by shortness of breath and a dry cough. As a result of this disease, the epithelium of the alveoli is damaged, which leads to hypoxia of the body. Over time, breathing becomes more difficult and a person dies. The princess's case is extremely rare. Mostly older men of mature age suffer from this disease, and it affects from 4 out of 8 people out of 100,000. Doctors do not know what causes this disease, and unfortunately, they are unable to help the wife of the future king. More so, they declare that the princess does not have much time left because, according to the prognosis, it is from 2 to 5 years. Unfortunately, this condition cannot be cured. Its process can only be delayed. Therefore, Norwegian doctors assured that they would do everything in their power to save the princess, and she admitted that she was ready to undergo any experiments abroad. And after hearing the diagnosis in 2018, she herself said, "Although such a diagnosis will limit my life at times, I'm glad that the disease has been discovered so early," and she emphasized that there was also positive aspects of her health. She admitted, "I can decide more about my everyday life and I realize how good it is to me. I can just go for a walk and have more time to read. Life has slowed down." At the same time, however, she also issued a special statement in which she announced that as long as her health would allow her, she would not give up her royal duties. And in fact, despite her ailments, she works actively for the kingdom and actively participates in the public life. Soon after hearing the diagnosis, she and her husband traveled to Germany, and when on the occasion of Christmas came around, the royals published official family photos, and the princess proved that she will never show that something is wrong with her. Currently, Mette-Marit, because of the coronavirus pandemic, which is known to primarily attack the lungs and cause shortness of breath, is highly increased of infection. However, the princess suspended her duties only when the situation in the world and in her country began to deteriorate significantly. She and her husband stayed in the house quarantine and did not leave the residence for several weeks. She only interrupted it recently when she gave an interview and met the media. She admitted that she was really looking forward to meeting people. "I am so glad to see people again." And with those words, she began a joyful and kind meeting. And during the conversation, the princess pointed out how important it is to not forget that in the age of the coronavirus, not only physical distance, but also social or emotional state is important. If there is one piece of advice I want to give, it is to keep good routines. Get up in the morning, get enough sleep, get out in nature. I think that is very important for everyone. And in addition, remember that this time will end. Brighter days are coming. Journalists, of course, also asked about the princess's health and well-being, but Mette-Marit did not want to comment on this topic. Crown Princess of Norway is known for her selfless support in those of need and involvement in numerous charity campaigns. That is why she's called the Norwegian Diana, the queens of people's hearts. However, she herself cannot count on her help for her illness. As we said, there is no cure. Also, Mette-Marit has not always had a good opinion in the media. And among some people and the media, she was treated worse by the tabloids than Meghan Markle, but we'll tell you more about that later. Earlier, we need to tell you how the princess learned about the diagnosis. Firstly, mainly official visits and royal meetings have been cancelled. And in 2017, Mette-Marit did not go to Brazil as part of the royal trip, nor did she accompany her husband during his travels to New York. And at that time, it was explained that the wife of the heir to the throne was overworked because of too many royal duties. And it was recognized that the princess's weakened state was a result of the workload, which also causes her constant colds. So over time, however, the feeling of Mette-Marit grew worse, and the princess could not breathe, and she often had frequent dizziness. The ailments intensified, and the wife of the heir to the throne could not function normally, so she underwent a thorough examination. And it wasn't until the end of October 2018 when Professor Christian Bjorgo of the National Hospital informed the Duchess that she suffers from pulmonary fibrosis, and the diagnosis turned out to be a verdict. All of Norway, along with the world, was shocked. People could not believe that they would lose Mette-Marit, their future queen, although they had not accepted her even at the beginning. So how did Mette-Marit become a princess? Mette-Marit Tjensen Højby was born on August 19th of 1973 in Kristiansand. She comes from a very normal family. Her father was a journalist and her mother a banking clerk. The girl's past was very turbulent, and probably even for her becoming the wife of the future heir to the throne was a great surprise, because in the early 90s, Mette-Marit worked as a waitress, took illegal substances, and often changed boyfriends and lovers, and for one of them, she even shaved her head. And after some time, she became involved with Lag, Martin Borg, who was convicted for trafficking illegal substances, and her brief affair with a man ended in an unplanned pregnancy. Mette-Marit was 23 years old at the time, no money and no home. While waiting for the child, Mette-Marit lived with her friends, and it was by a friend from school that the woman met Håkon, son of the King of Norway, Harald V. The heir to the throne did not look and acted like a typical prince. He wore tousled hair, baggy jeans, and led a turbulent nightlife. He liked the pregnant rebel girl insanity. Mette-Marit's baby was born on January 13th of 1997, and after some time, the prince began to meet with the girl and cared about the baby like his own, but he was hiding the relationship with Mette-Marit. Their relationship was discovered in 2000 when they were caught together at a rock festival in their hometown. As expected, a scandal broke out in Norway, and tabloids were more painful than Meghan Markle's case and her relationship with Prince Harry. Mette-Marit and her child instantly became the main topic of the boulevard press, and they lost their privacy overnight. The situation became more and more dramatic until finally the prince decided to speak. On May 14th of 2000, he gave a bold and very honest interview to the State of the Television NRK, in which he not only admitted that he was dating Mette-Marit, but even that he bought an apartment for her and her son. He also hinted that he had a very serious plan for his partner, which caused an even greater shock and scandal. People did not like that the possible future queen is a girl from the people and that she has no education, an illegitimate child, and a very controversial past. So Mette-Marit had to learn a new role. She was invited to the royal estate, where she took a course in dealing with the media and took lessons in good manners and etiquette. And on December 1st of 2000, the lucky prince proudly announced that despite everything and everyone, he got engaged to his partner. Mette-Marit received a ring that had previously belonged to Martha, Princess of Crown of Norway and Queen Sonja. But the people who did not share Håkon's enthusiasm, however, demanded the abdication of the prince, accusing him of destroying the monarchy and tarnishing its good name. There were even threats of collective emigration from Norway after the marriage of the couple. However, Mette-Marit and Håkon stayed together and fought for their love. And a few days before the ceremony, the future princess told about herself at a special press conference and apologized for her earlier turbulent behavior. She said, "My youthful rebellion went further than it did for others, and I learned some hard lessons. That resulted in me living in a quite wild life. We overstepped the limits. It was a costly experience for me, and that I took a long time to get over it. I would like to take this opportunity to say that I condemn drugs. I cannot make these choices again, even though I wish I could." And this honest statement won her some new fans. Håkon and Mette-Marit got married after a year and a half of their engagement on August 25th of 2001 at Oslo Cathedral. The prince was wearing a uniform with a sash, with a saber at his side, and his partner a modest white dress with a long train. The rings were handed to them by the son of Mette-Marit, little Marius, who lived with his mother at court. After her marriage, Mette-Marit received the title of Her Royal Highness the Crown Princess of Norway, and since has represented the Norwegian monarch or taking part in official appearances. Their first child, daughter Ingrid Alexandra, was born on January 21st of 2004, and according to the constitution, she has the rights to the crown. And a year later, on December 3rd of 2005, Mette-Marit gave birth to a son. The children of the princely couple attended a state school, and in interviews, the wife of the future king often says that as parents they are not perfect, and her family has both advantages and disadvantages. And in this way, people began to see them as normal characters, and Mette-Marit became their favorite. Norwegians started to think that she would be the perfect queen. What's more, unlike members of the British monarchy, the princess is active in social media and shares her travels and everyday life with others. Also, in August of 2006, a documentary program devoted to her life of Mette-Marit was created. It was entitled The Cinderella of Our Time, which was broadcast by the largest Norwegian commercial television station. In addition, Mette-Marit was quickly hailed as the Norwegian Diana because she is very much like the British Queen of the people's hearts. Like Prince Harry and William's mother, she's also used her position to help others. Crown Princess of Norway is the patron of the Norwegian Red Cross and the UN AIDS International Goodwill Ambassador. As part of this activity, she participates in events related to HIV infections and AIDS, and travels abroad promoting knowledge on the subject and supporting people. But it's not like the dark past has completely gone. On December 4th of 2019, Mette-Marit released a statement in which she admitted that she regrets her contacts with Jeffrey Epstein. We remind you that he was an American businessman convicted of abuse of minors who died in August of 2019 in prison awaiting another trial. You probably also remember that due to the friendship with the financier, son of Elizabeth II, Prince Andrew withdrew from the public life and performing official duties. But if you have not heard, we do have a separate video about it. Mette-Marit revealed that, however, she met the millionaire only a few times in the years of 2011-2013, but she had nothing to do with him and did not know the seriousness of his crimes. So what do you guys think about the history of Princess Mette-Marit? Curious? Is it not admirable that despite a serious illness, she is still full of energy and performs her duties? Do you think that the king's misalliance influenced the Norwegian monarchy? Be sure to let me know what your opinions are in the comments, and don't forget to like and recommend this video to your friends, as well as subscribe and enable the notifications so you don't miss any of our interesting videos. See you guys next time!